नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयं मुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 10 and verse number 33. Etad bhagavato rupam sthulam te vyahrutam mayadebis chavaranair astabhir bahiravrutam. Etad bhagavato rupam sthulam te vyahrutam mayadebis chavarenair astabhir bahiravrutam. Synonyms: Etat, all this, Bhagavata, of the personality of Godhead, Rupam, form, Sthulam, gross, Te, unto you, Vyavrutam, explained, Maya, by me, Mahi, the planets, Adibihi, and so on, Cha, unlimitedly, Avaranaihi, by coverings, Astibihi, by 8, external, Bahihi, external, Avrutam, covered. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Thus, by all this, the external feature of the personality of Godhead is covered by gross forms, such as those of the planets, which were explained to you by me. Purport. As explained in the Bhagavad Gita 7.4, the separated material energy of personality of Godhead is covered by 8 kinds of material coverings: earth, water, fire, air, sky, mind, intelligence, and false ego. All these are emanations from the personality of Godhead as his external energy. These coverings are just like the coverings of the cloud for the sun. The cloud is a creation of the sun, yet it actually covers the eyes so that one cannot see the sun. The sun cannot be covered by the clouds. The cloud can at most extend a few hundreds of miles in the sky, but the sun is far greater than millions of miles. So, a 100-mile covering is not competent to cover millions of miles. Therefore, one of the various energies of the personality of Godhead cannot, of course, cover the Lord. But these coverings are created by him to cover the eyes of the conditioned souls who want to lord it over the material nature. Actually, the conditioned souls are covered by the illusory creative cloud of matter, and the Lord reserves the right of not being exposed to their eyes. Because they have no eyes of transcendental vision, and because they cannot see the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they therefore deny the existence of the Lord and the transcendental form of the Lord. The covering of the gigantic material feature is accepted by such men with a poor fund of knowledge. And how this is so explained in the following verse. Om Agnana Timirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Tadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha. Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityanamine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarane Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktaranda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Vancha Kalpataru Pescha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patita Nam Pamanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jnananandamayam Devam Nirmalam Sprika Pratimadaram Sarva Vidyanam Hayagrivam Vasmaya Mukam Karoti Vachalam Bangam Langayate Grim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinataranam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Happy Ekadashi today. Today, based on the calendar, Shri Sampradaya, they say this is very auspicious day, which is Vaikuntha Ekadashi. Whoever leaves their body today, they have directly going to Vaikuntha. That's the belief. I don't know much on that, but it is auspicious. Actually, if you go to any of the Vishnu temples, lordships will be in the elevated. They will keep the deities in the elevated platform, and we go under them to get blessings, and we see his face towards the north in the mirror, something like that. It's a very auspicious thing, Vaikuntha Ekadashi. And then people in India, we may all know that the lines and lines, people will be waiting and in the lines to see that. So this is anyway, which is an auspicious day. I'm fortunate to glorify Srimad Bhagavatam and Sri Krishna in the presence of devotees. Okay, the verse, it's an interesting verse, but with my knowledge, very limited knowledge, I can speak something at least. Etat Bhagavato Rupam Stulam. So I was thinking about Rupam and Stulam, and then Avrutam. There are three words here. The first line is Rupam, second line is Stulam, and then the last line it says ends with the Avrutam. Etat Bhagavato, after all these, the personality of Godhead Rupam, form, gross. So the translation says that the external feature of the personality of Godhead is covered by the gross forms, just such as those planets. So the Virat Rupa of Lord Krishna, of the universal form of the Lord, that is Virat Rupa, that is represented by this whole cosmic manifestation, especially this universe, right? And how this is formed, and various verses we have seen, devotees explained to us, and we understood, at least since it's very philosophical, technical, to some extent we learned. And we know that Srimad Bhagavatam originally was only 4 verses, which was spoken to Lord Brahma. And Vyasadev's, Narada Muni's mercy, Vyasadeva mercy for us, that extended to 18,000 verses, because he has written Vedas and Puranas and so on and so forth. But originally, if I understand correctly, it was the one which Lord Vishnu preached only with these 4 verses, which is the Chaturshloki of Bhagavatam. Everything is hidden in that. And that got extended to so many verses of 18,000, because every verse is Krishna's glories. And we know the story how Narada Muni comes and inspires when he was Vasudeva, when he was despondent, and then that's how it started, and it gave the whole picture. And somehow Vasudeva explained, he explained everything to Parikshit Maharaj. Sorry, Shukadev Goswami and Shukadev Goswami's. Because of Parikshit as a cause, we are all able to hear Srimad Bhagavatam, and on the top of it, we have to our final gratitude is for Srila Prabhupada putting everything in place for all of us for next generation after generation after generation. At least we are fortunate. Saying that, I was focusing on these three forms, so three words here. It says that in Bhagavad Gita 7.4, the material energy of the personality covered by the 8 elements. So we heard that many times, how this form is gross. Bhumirapo nayo nalavayu kam mano buddhi revacha ahankara iti yamme vinna prakriti astada. That is the 7.4. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. All together, these 8 constitute my separated material energies. So it's a material energy. How it is constituted? It is constituted with all these elements. The Prabhu Krishna explains. But to understand the Rupam, is Krishna interested in this material world? We are in the material world, but Krishna is he interested in this material world? Where is Krishna, and what is his, why is he doing all this manifestation? The manifestation is for us, because we asked for it, Krishna gave us. And he has to do varieties of varieties, so that we can enjoy based on our, instead of lauding we have that enjoyment, desire of enjoyment of lording it over the material nature, lording it over. So Krishna gave the opportunity and created many things for us to be here. We are all here from manvantaras after manvantaras. We are still here and enjoying the way we were supposed to enjoy, and we want to enjoy, we are enjoying. So Krishna is in the spiritual world, and we are in the material world. And now Prabhupada gives a very nice purport, saying the clouds and the sun. Even though the clouds are formed because of the sun, and clouds try to cover the sun, but it cannot cover the entire sun, right? Only few 100 miles maybe. After that, it's open. So that doesn't mean that you can cover the sun. What does that mean is Krishna is there in this spiritual world. He has a form, and he manifests here for all of us in an impersonal form. That means, where can we see Krishna? Can we see Krishna's form right now? No, but he is manifested. That means light, sun is there, sunlight is there, is the same thing. In the same way, Krishna is manifesting himself as an impersonal form in the super soul, and is sitting in everybody's heart. And that's how he's there. And we need to understand that when in the corporate world, the CEO of the company, is he interested? He has so many companies, so many corporate companies he owns it. Any of the employees have seen him? No, we have not seen him. Maybe we've seen the pictures of him once in a while, or he comes in a meeting, or no, whatnot. But he is visible but not visible in different forms, right? Similarly, Krishna is there but is not there. He is up there and down here also, but we cannot see him. This form is, and Krishna is also telling us that all his this material energy itself is all kind of, it's just gross. Am I interested in gross? The word itself is gross. Am I interested in grass? No way. I don't like the grass. That means if you look at the saints, they're they have their bodies, but are they really interested in their bodies? No. But still they'll take care of their bodies. Similarly, for the sake of taking care of their bodies, they'll take care of the bodies. But because it has become a routine, but that doesn't mean they're completely thinking about their bodies or a grass. They don't care about the grass, right? In the same way, Krishna, he is up there in the spiritual world and he doesn't care about this. He care in the sense is not really interested in this material world, this creation, but still he is still taking care of this. He doesn't basically does he really care, because he has so many material universes after millions of universes. Does it care? Anyway, his energies are there, he'll take care, but is really taking care? Yes, in one way, no, in another way. Why? Because still he's taking care. That's the causeless mercy for all of us. Even though he's there, he doesn't care, but he's still taking care. Just like what I said about the saints. Are they really worried about the bodies? Not really. They know that body is temporary. Prabhupada also said, right, this body is temporary. Is it, anytime this will go away. But what did he do? He's just really connecting Krishna and giving us all this opportunity to serve Krishna. So in that way, Krishna has rupam, and also it doesn't mean that he has this thulam, right? He is not worried about the thulam, even though he has the rupam in the, like a sun. He has a rupam but he doesn't mean how he manifests to us. It doesn't manifest to us. There are two ways. One is avrutam. So because he's also covered. He has a rupam, but we cannot see that rupam is because he's covered. And sthulam, yes, we'll see that later, right? So that's what he's telling in this verse. And I was thinking about how this rupam, the material gross body, we are worried too much about it. But can we do anything with that? Yes, as long as we are there, we have to take care of the body. That doesn't mean that we have to live just like that. So that's most important. So, but now if you really look at maybe we're already getting late. So the another one is avrutam, and is covered. Krishna, he's covered. Is he visible to all of us? Yes, as a sun, he is visible, but sometimes we cannot see today. Look at the weather outside. It's completely covered. We cannot even see the sun. It's completely cloudy. Last night we was completely covered with the fog. We could not even see the artificial lights also. That was another issue. But now you can see we can't even see the sun. It's dull a little bit because it's completely covered. Krishna is there, but he is not there. What does that mean? Look at Shishupal. When he was there, when he took birth, and then he came to Rajasuya Yagna. Rajasuya Yagna was actually organized by Krishna only, but Yudhishthira Maharaj was the lead for everything. They invited everyone, and Shishupal saw that everybody came, including because Lord Shiva, Brahma, Indra, they were all invited. And Shishupal saw all of them. And everybody who came, who appeared, they offered their obeisances to Lord Krishna. In spite of looking at that, he did not even think about that. He did not get registered in his mind, Shishupal's mind, that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, in spite of seeing all those. Who came, how they're offering obeisances, because he is completely covered. What is that coverage? One is the Yoga Maya and one is the Mahamaya. Maya is a Maya. It might be Yoga Maya or it might be Mahamaya, based on how Krishna acts, on how we act, accordingly Krishna acts. So in that way, Shishupal was completely covered Even though Krishna was there in front of him, and he knows that there are so many things everybody is doing, glorifying the greatness of the Lord, thinking that he is the supreme. Who couldn't understand? Only Pandavas could understand that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. And we also know that the Dwarkavasis, they were also, they know that they also know that Krishna is, not everybody knows that is Krishna. They were more or less thinking about he was the king. Not everybody knows that he is Krishna. Maybe Yadus, they were all thinking about, yeah, he is a great man. Some of them know, some of them doesn't know. But he was a king for the Dwaraka. Think about in Vrindavan. Vrindavan, they don't want to know. So that's another thing, right? That's a yoga maya. Even though they know, they don't want to know. Even though Mother Yashoda saw the mouth of Krishna opening his mouth, he saw everything, and it is just kind of illusion. He thought it's another illusion for her, maybe. So she doesn't want to know that Krishna is the supreme personality. So it's another extreme. So that coverage is the yoga maya there. And for Duryodhana, and Duryodhana, there is in Harivamsha Purana, it has been discussed that people, there was a discussion, it seems, that somebody said, Duryodhana, don't you know Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead? He lifted the Govardhan for the 7 days, and he killed Kaliya, and he has done so many pastimes, so many things. He is another yogi, he is another Siddhi yogi or something. He's a magician, and he did not even accept that Krishna is God, supreme personality of Godhead. So this Avrutam coverage, how is covered? So he's there for us, all of us, but sometimes in fact Krishna is there in front of us. We always see that, can you show me, how do you know where God is there or not? Can you tell me where Krishna is? Make him appear in front of me, then I will understand that Krishna. Even he appears in front of us, we may not understand that is the supreme personality of God. That is another thing, right? So yoga maya, mahamaya. Maya can act in the yoga way or a mahamaya way. So, but it all depends on ye yatha mam prapadyante tamstata daiva bhajamiham. It is not that Krishna's problem, it is our problem. So this is given in the Bhagavad Gita verse, hope we all remember. Naham prakasha sarvasya yogamaya samavrutaha mudoyam nabijanati loko mam ajamavyayam. I am never manifest to the foolish and unintelligent. For them, I am covered by my eternal creative potency, Yogamaya. And so the deluded world knows me not, who am unborn and infallible. So there are like this various examples and how that Krishna has been covered and he cannot be seen. And in Mother Kunti's prayers, it is said that Lord is covered by the curtain of Yogamaya, and thus ordinary people cannot understand him. He says, "Oh my Lord, you are the maintainer of the entire universe, and devotional service to you is the highest religious principles. Therefore, I pray that you will also maintain me. Your transcendental form is covered by the Yogamaya. The Brahma Jyoti is the covering of an internal potency. May you kindly remove this glowing effulgence that impedes my seeing your Sachidananda Vigraha, your eternal form of bliss and knowledge." So Mother Kunti is also praying. So Krishna is there, but is not there for us, right? It's not that Krishna's problem. It is our problem on how we look at Krishna. This is what the verse is telling. Basically, Avrutam is covering. And then gross, as I said, gross is Krishna's gross form, but Is it real? Or somebody can ask, okay, is this a universal form real? So I was thinking about, I heard from one of the devotees, you put an India map using the vegetables and fruits or something, and then you can name different states with a carrot, with a some kind of vegetable and fruit, and to indicate, okay, this is one state, this is another state, something like that. And then somebody can see, oh, now I understand, this is Uttar Pradesh, or this is Kerala, indicated by this fruit or a vegetable. Is that doesn't mean that fruit and vegetable represents India map. Is it really that? Not really that. Like, so it is just like that. The form is not really there is a form of this universal form of Krishna, but it's for our understanding that how it has been there. But in that way, the gross, completely this gross element, sorry, it's completely gross because it is covered by all these right elements, right? In spite of that, we also, as a body, even our body is also same thing. It's made of earth, water, fire, air, either. Hmm? Where is the other day we were discussing about this fire? Where is the fire in our body? It is a Jataragni, correct? So where is the water in the body? Otherwise, there is no water, there is a blood. How can the blood flow? And how can we breathe air? Without air, we cannot even breathe. That's the water, fire, air, earth. And then, mind, intelligence, and false ego. It's also another subtle body, which is there for all of us. But it is covered, completely covered. What is that cover? Cover means the false ego is covering us, that I am the body. If I have a true ego, so Prabhupada explains that you become yourself. That means you identify yourself what you are, and then you can identify Krishna. That means we are completely gross, completely gross. I was thinking yesterday, there was a kirtan, and some Mataji, Kiran Mataji was telling you should talk to people, because engage them in with so that they can also be engaged. So such a wonderful kirtan last night. I don't know, some of you missed it. One of our Michigan devotees, Ananda, what is his name? Ananda Murari Prabhu Mukunda brought him. Amazing, amazing kirtan. Everybody was engaging. So I was thinking, can I taste Krishna's holy name? How do I understand? Look, forget about seeing Krishna, because we are already Abhutam, covered. That's our eyes also is covered. Why? Because my heart is covered with layers and layers and layers of dust. It's very thick. We can't even understand how much that dust is there in our heart. Honestly, it's mind-boggling. We can't even know how much it's covered. But the more you hear about the holy name, that hearing of holy name penetrates our heart slowly, and layer after layer, it cleans the layers. It cleans the layers. Krishna comes. We know that Bhagavatam verse, I forgot, that Krishna comes. He takes a broom and he starts cleaning the whole heart, so that he will make the facility of heart to understand Krishna. So what is the way this cover, the covering is there in our heart? The only way, that means the Cheto Darpana Marjanam has to be there. What is the Cheto Darpana Marjanam? Our sadhana, bhakti yoga, sadhana, by doing our sadhana, first of all, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam and chanting the holy name, it will clean your heart, clean our heart, layer after layer after layer. Then we will know that Krishna's holy name, we can now hear that is a very nice, beautiful music. Oh, very nice music, very nice melody. But we may not get into that ecstasy of just holy name Krishna, because it says Harer Nama, Harer Nama, Harer Namaiva Kevalam. Kalau Nasteva, Nasteva, Nasteva Gatiranyata. We can't even understand Krishna. It's because there's only Krishna. Everything is in Krishna's holy name. Because we cannot see the form of Krishna, right? Because we have deities, at least we can know that is Archa Vigraha is in the form. But can we see Krishna? Even though we look at the deity, we may not even understand he is the deity of Krishna. Somebody says it's a nice doll. Oh, nice decoration. So at least for us to understand that our heart has to be cleansed, then only we can see Krishna in a better way. So I think I'll stop here, and I'll it's already 8:02. If any comments, maybe questions, whatever, please feel free to comment. Forget about I did something, you did. No, you a nice class. No, all those things will keep it aside. Just glorify Srimad Bhagavatam, and if any thoughts, any reflections, that will be very wonderful. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatrubhyascha kripa sindhubhyascha patitanam pavnebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Yes, Mataji.
So you said forget about the nice class, everything. So now how do I say it was very nice? Okay. Just I remembered one thing reading in the 12th canto. The sun becomes covered by the clouds. It is, but the sun is creating he is creating the clouds and
Yes.
hiding himself in that one,
Yes, yes. That is the
making
purport actually. Purport also same thing.
Making himself invisible. Similarly, it is our false ego which creates this cloud, which is this bodily consciousness, and refuse to see the soul. Then he forget about. You don't. That knowledge that I am the soul is completely covered, because this false ego creates this cloudiness in our mind. But it's the same as what you said, like layers and layers of dust on our mind. Then another thing what I this thing took note. You said it did not register in his mind, Shishupala's mind. Similarly, we are all hearing and chanting everything, but and hearing so much about chanting and how to do our sadhana, bhakti, everything. But is it all registering in our mind, or where in consciousness we are executing our bhakti yoga? I think sometimes Thank you very much, Prabhu. Here,
yeah, we are. It has to register because it's still, I was other day I was talking that we are like a cup, holding either liquor or milk. It's like a tatastha, right? We are not, what is that called? External energy, right? Krishna's internal energy, external energy, and we are marginal energy, right? We are like a cup holding a liquor for time immemorial. When can I add milk into it? Milk is actually internal energy, and the external energy is like liquor. We are enjoying with this external energy for time immemorial. So now, by our sadhana, we are trying to empty the cup of liquor and make that environment clean, so that cup can hold and add. When you add milk, we cannot add milk to the liquor. What happens? Still it's liquor. So our coverage, it's basically anartha nivritti is happening. And one point of time, if Krishna's mercy, Guru's mercy, that everything cleans up, then that cup can hold the milk, and then we can taste the milk, right? So that's how it is. We are still in that stage. It's getting slowly registered, but that doesn't mean that it's nothing happening. It's actually happening. It's actually very well happening. Otherwise, we would have not been here, continuing here, right? So that's my thought.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. And this is the first time I'm hearing that external energy is, our mind, it is the cup of liquor, and then internal energy is like milk filling it. That is a nice.
We are the cup. That is
We
the
are the cup.
Shakti. We are
Yeah.
the cup, actually. We can hold
Yeah.
either. That's why we are always is in a Trishanku. We can go other way, we can go down, up and
Yeah.
down, right?
Yes. That is a nice analogy, Prabhu. Thank you. Thank
Yes,
you.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please accept my
Haribol
humble
Prabhu.
obeisances.
Dandavat
All
Pranam.
glories to Guru and Gauranga. Prabhuji, wonderful class. I'm glorifying you as a Vaishnava in spite of you telling not to. And then, your discussion with Mataji and even Sandhya Mataji's thing was also very nice. I really don't have anything to say, just I wanted to, comment. That's all. Thank
That's
you,
okay,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji. Thank you. Okay. Anybody else? Otherwise, we can stop here.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat
Krishna.
Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam. Hari Hari. Pandran Gopal Prabhu ki jai.
Yeah, I hope. You said don't glorify you. So, but I'm going to take opposite. Thank you very much for a nice class. Glorifying devotees is nothing but glorifying Bhagavatam, as far as I know. So, wonderful analogies and explanation, Prabhuji, sharing your realization. I'm very appreciative of how you narrated the Stula and Rupa, how we are covered. It's really nice way of putting things in order. Thank you for that. When you're talking about that, I was thinking in a Mayavadi way. Obviously, I was so accustomed to that life after life, life after life, life after life. So it's not going away. Whenever so when you're talking about how Lord energy is covered by these 8 elements of material gross.
Yeah.
I was thinking of analogy like how our soul, spirit, which is part of Krishna, is also covered by these 8 material elements. So I was thinking, is that Krishna is also covered by these 8? Like how we are covered?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that
Right. Yeah. See, Krishna is not covered. He is not covered.
No, nobody can cover him. It's a media between Krishna's spirit and us. We cannot see him like that. How we cannot see our grass between our consciousness and our our identity. Maybe that is also covered by this grass.
See, that's a nice point you brought, Prabhu. Can we see our soul?
Let's not go inside that.
It's like we cannot understand, but he's there. Super soul is there. Soul and the super soul. Super is there. It's like when we have that from the Puranas. I forgot that we are 2 birds on the tree, right? One is enjoying, and he gets frustrated, and then he looks at the other bird. Oh, what can I do? I'm sorry. All these days, I'm not able to understand what it is. And he turns to the other bird. Then the other bird, when the moment the other returns to the other bird, that means he is there. Super soul sitting in the heart will guide you. Everything. So that analogy I was thinking when you said that.
Yeah, I don't know whether we can see ourselves. All I know is from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Chetodarpanamarjan, then you can see yourself. I don't know how that see happens unless you experience it.
Yes.
By grace of Krishna. But with material gross things, I don't think we will be able to see ourselves as a self-realized person.
No, see in the sense, identify who we are. That means we are not the body, we are the soul first, right? In that way. We cannot see, but identify ourselves that we are not, we are a living entity as not a body, but as a living entity. First of all, we have to come into that. That is what self-realization. And then we can see Krishna.
I don't know whether we can see we can see Krishna, but at least we have a consciousness.
Yeah.
Somehow or other to see equal.
Yes, Prabhuji. Very nicely.
Nice. Thank you. Sorry for disturbance.
No.
No. Prabhu, if I might add one little thought about seeing the soul.
Yeah.
Please allow me to speak
Please,
one more
Mataji,
time.
go ahead.
Okay. So, in glorifying Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhidyate Hriday Grandhis, Chidyante Sarva Samshaya, Chiyande Chasya Karmani, Drashta Evatmanishware. That Drashta Evatmanishware, that is seeing ourselves, the soul,
Yeah.
that way, I mean, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, it is said that we'll be able to see ourselves, the soul. That is what it means, that sloka, I think. Thank you,
Correct,
Prabhu.
Mataji. Yeah, that is
Krishna.
basically Cheto Darpanam Marjanam has to happen. Then
Yeah.
Right.
No, but that is Ishvara, like looking at Ishvara.
Eva Atmani Ishware. Atmani Ishware.
I got to look into that.
That came to my mind. I have to go clarify that meaning.
Yeah. Because only thing, my understanding is how you see yourself is cleaning your heart. Chaturparna Marjanam verse. I don't know any other places. Maybe I we need to look at that verse, Mataji. That's a good quotation to dig into.
I don't know much. I have to see as well.
Yeah, this is good discussion.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji and Mataji.
Yeah.
I don't think I understood the full meaning of the discussions you had, but about seeing the soul, at a very basic level, when I am somewhere else, we can do this thought experience. I don't have to see myself in a mirror. I know I am there. My consciousness, my presence, all those things. So, we don't have to really see our soul because we know we are there. The same way, if we can feel the super soul or the Lord, for example, little born baby, she automatically feels the presence of the mother. If the mother walks away or moves away even for a second, even without opening the eyes, the baby starts crying. And the mother comes back and she's in the surroundings, the baby will become calm, even without physical touch. So this we all have experienced this. Particularly mothers know it much better. So it's the same way. If the Lord is there, we really don't have to see the Lord. We can feel the presence. His warmth is always there.
Yeah, no, that is different. You're right. You don't have to worry about seeing the Lord, but in the context, as you ask, how do we see ourselves? And why should we not see ourselves? Because we have our own identity. We are not impersonalists. So we have identity. That means we exist separate from Krishna as an individual soul.
Individual soul, yeah.
We should be able to see ourselves. I don't know how that is. Maybe that is the details. The one thing I was able to think is by cleaning ourselves in the mirror of our heart, we will be able to see ourselves. That could be our constitutional position. Hey, this is how I am originally. But what is that I am could be happens only after anartha nivritti stage, according to Nectar of Devotion, right? After anartha nivritti, you will understand who you are, and then you follow that. But we don't lose our identity, but we should be able to see our. I'm thinking, looking at ourselves means finding who we are, our constitutional position. I was thinking like that. Maybe I'm wrong.
Prabhuji, I think if I understand what you're asking, not that I know the answer, with our material eyes, we will never be able to see ourselves. We can understand, like in the end you said, we can understand our position, we can understand with all the other things who we are and what is the relationship. But I don't know if with our eyes we'll ever be able to see even our soul or the Lord
No,
Himself
no, no,
until the Lord grants that.
Hare
absolutely.
Krishna, Prabhu.
You
Hare Krishna,
cannot.
Prabhu. Yeah. That's the right point, Prabhu. I forgot that slok. If somebody remember, Balaram Prabhu, that Brahma Sahita slok, Santa Sadava Hridayeshu Bhakti.
Vilokayanti. Okay.
Yeah, by the bhaktis, we can see that. So that's the right material eye we can't see, but when do the bhakti, our eyes become spiritual, and then we
Premanjana Churita
Premanjana Churita Bhakti
Bhakti
Vilochanena.
Vilochana. But that is about
That
seeing
is
the
seeing
Lord,
Krishna, right? That is
seeing the
seeing
Lord in
Krishna.
the heart.
Yeah.
So seeing the Lord, yeah. But another thing is, what comes to my mind that Narada Muni, when he says lightning and lightning and thunder happens same time. That is, he's referring to the moment he got that spiritual body at when death came. No? So only that is only when we transfer to the spiritual body, we see ourselves in our real constitutional position, not while we are in the material body. So but Lord Brahma says, I understand and I am a maid servant of yours, so those are very exalted personalities. They understand their identities even within their current bodies. Then another thing that came to my mind was so I think it is about and then Narada Muni says after he practiced, after he got into got that the spiritual body, whenever he chants, Lord appears as though called for. So when you are in the spiritual body, the Lord comes and in your heart, and he is always seeing him. So as though called for, he says. So that kind of in the spiritual body, I think we get to see the Lord and we realize who ourselves are. I mean, this is my humble.
Mataji, you brought a very good point. I know we're going too far. That's what
I
happened.
think today
I
is
don't
off
join.
for everyone. If it is okay, we can
My
discuss that.
apologies.
Nice.
Those who want to drop, they can drop.
Yeah.
This is a very good point, right? Okay. I'm going to make this point and I need to drop too. So
No, Prabhu, how you
can
can
see
drop?
Krishna.
We are discussing, Prabhu. You how to be here?
We see Krishna when we have spiritual consciousness. We can see Krishna, or we can feel Krishna, as the Kunji Bihar Prabhu said. Most of the times we feel, and with the mercy of the Lord, we can see him face to face. I was thinking, when we see Krishna, we see ourselves in the Krishna's reflection. Probably that's how we see. When we are clean our heart, that means probably Krishna is standing in front, and we can see as a mirror. He is an instrument to see who we are. Until then, we don't know who we are. Maybe that's how I was thinking, Mataji. That's how I can realize myself. When I
Hare
do not feel.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. One small thing, Prabhuji. When we are in our spiritual form, all our senses are perfect. It's not like our material senses where we can see this, we can't see that. The Lord has provided us, this particular position where we are in the true constitutional position with the Lord. We can not only see ourselves, we can see the other souls also serving with the Lord, because the Vaikuntha descriptions, we see how.
No.
One second, Prabhuji. We see
Seeing
how
ourselves.
we can see ourselves, we can see all the other souls who are also serving the Lord in the Vaikuntha planets,
Yeah, that is true.
And so, yes, we will have the ability once we go there. But at that level, what will happen is the importance is not about seeing ourselves. Because we know the constitutional position, we will want to see the Lord and not ourselves.
Why do you think that it is not important to see ourselves?
I'm not saying it's not important. It is visible to you. How many times do we go and stand near the mirror, Prabhuji?
If possible, I stand every day, all night, every minute, because I want to see my.
No, that's not. No. Logically, if that sort of a person, if I'm going to see myself every minute, I'll never make spiritual progress.
So that's
in the morning after I brush my teeth and take my bath, comb my hair, I don't look at the mirror until next day morning.
Prabhu, when I am working in front of the table, wherever the table counter, I have a mirror in front of me.
And my one more thing, sorry, they asked to speak so much this morning. The thing is, when Lord Damodara Leela, Damodar is seeing the two trees as not trees, as Manikriva and Nalaguvara. So I think Pani Prabhu is, Pandranga Prabhu is saying about that kind of vision. Is he seeing that kind of vision? We don't have that. When we will get that kind of vision?
I think I want to make my point. How do we see ourselves? That's the question, right? It's not seeing others. It's not seeing some other souls.
Yeah, that was the thought-provoking, correct. Please go ahead.
Things happen.
Yeah, same thing, Prabhu. That is, the soul located in our heart. Are we able to see it the same way Krishna saw those two Arjuna trees? That is your question, right?
No. My question is, how do you see yourself?
Yourself. That is yours. That is the way you see yourself. That is what I.
That's the discussion, right? Not seeing other soul.
Okay, I stop here.
Anyway, we'll discuss again.
So, you see, turmoil if I join, that's why I avoid.
No, Prabhu. It was nice because this is the question I asked you. Can we see our soul? Right?
You can see as far as I know, you can see our soul. That's my understanding, not realization. But I am only speculating. How do you see you? So, as I said, once Mataji said, I got that idea of, okay, maybe once we realize, as said, once you clean your senses, you're able to see Krishna, turn your bird to other's bird. When you see him, you will see yourself in him. You will see yourself in him. He's like a transfer, like, crystal. Okay, Hiranyakashipu tells to Prasad Maharaj, crystal, whatever is in front of the crystal reflects. So like Krishna is like a crystal, for example. He just reflects whatever you are. So that's how you know who you are. After another Nivritti stage, you know who you are by looking at Krishna. You realize, okay, this is Krishna. Then you see yourself in him. Then you know who you are actually. Maybe you are a bird, you are a Gandharva, you are a gopi, whatever it is, that bhava comes out. That's what I was able to connect, but I may be wrong. This is my mental speculation. Based on Radhakrishna explanation and Sanjay Mata's explanation. And also my concoction. So this is good. Thank you.
Anyway,
Prabhuji, Panduranga Prabhu, you are saying the Swarupa, you are not seeing the soul. What's your exact Swarupa? That's what you are talking now. It's a different thing.
There is no difference between soul and Swarupa. Your Swarupa is you.
When you say means you are the something bird or something this and that, so that's your Swarupa.
No. That is, in spiritual world, there is no separate, right? It's all your soul. How Krishna has no difference between his name and his form. In the spirit, it's all...
in spiritual world, so there is a form, Prabhu.
I'm not saying there is no form. That form itself is a soul. There is no separate.
Yes.
That's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
So you see...
So
Prabhuji,
simple
one
thing is that
example.
Prabhu, right now we have the three bodies: gross body, subtle body, and then soul. So very simple thing. If you remove that, the body, then only you can see. Otherwise, you can't see that thing. So you have to remove your two bodies, gross and subtle body. Then only the soul is there, and that you can see yourself. Then.
Prabhuji,
Correct.
the other
Right.
thing is when we when we read about Sanatana Goswami, Rupa Goswami, all those things, we know they are all manjaris. How did they know they are manjaris? Because they could go back and they would take part in those leelas and they would see themselves as manjaris. And that's how, so which also says, yeah, you can see yourself. When you can see others, you can see yourself also.
Yeah. Yes, Prabhu. Nice discussion.
Prabhu,
Thank
I know
you.
you're getting tired. Okay,
We need to go. I
thank
think
you.
it's too late.
Bhagavatam discussion.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
So
Thank you.
Pandura Prabhu, if I found any mirror, I can show you.
I have mirror in my home. Don't worry about it.
Hare Krishna.
Okay,
Okay,
Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for everyone.